And hello and welcome back to POU's The Nest. Crazy enough, it has been a horrible past few weeks for scheduling because somebody's car decided to no longer work.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I should have it back on Sunday, so we should be back to a more consistent schedule, but we're human. These things happen. So.
But, oh my God, to get back to what the hell's happened to the Seahawks?
They won a game. That's
Geno
what happened.
Smith? Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm gonna read something I had made beforehand, just a snippet of it.
I can't wait.
Just to be clarified, this is just a joke, everything I'm about to say. Geno Smith, I'm not gonna read that shit. Anyway, a lot has happened. There's a lot to go over, and well, I want to start with the biggest breaking news that happened this morning before we get to the Seahawks, because this needs to be talked about, because when you have awful quarterback play and you have somebody that has just been so bad after you give him $130 million.
I thought it was 140.
It was $130 million for 4 years. When you give someone that kind of money, you expect them to be good, and after getting benched to second to third string, then to fourth string, and then to backup safety.
Bro.
Daniel Jones has been officially cut by the New York Giants.
Per his request, too.
Per his request. I mean, he saw things going in that direction. I mean...
Yeah. Supposedly, literally all of this happened this morning. He went into GM's office, whoever the GM for the New York Giants is. I talked to him, requested to be released, and then they granted his request. So... who's to tell where he'll end up now?
Oh, and breaking, I saw this before. The Dallas Cowboys have reportedly picked up Daniel Jones.
You're fucking joking.
No, I'm not joking. If you look up on their website, they have Daniel Jones listed as a quarterback. He's going to verify that.
I need to verify
I saw it this morning. I looked it up and I saw it. It could have been a glitch or error, but I saw it on the Cowboys roster. And if this is true, it would be funny as hell if the Cowboys just won out the rest of the season and Daniel Jones was, like, obviously the offensive player of the year.
Oh, no, according to Daily Mail, it says Daniel Jones listed on a rival NFL team's roster, referring to the Cowboys, minutes after New York Giants released him.
Daniel Jones is on. That's probably why he requested to be cut. They're desperate in Dallas, man. If Daniel Jones... I mean, there's so much talent there on that offense for the Cowboys. If he can pull his season around, maybe his career around, it'd be great.
I think that him getting cut was probably one of the best things that's going to happen to him. He has too much talent to be on the Giants.
Talent.
He's a good player on a bad team.
A good player.
He's on the Giants, okay? There's only so much you can do when you're on a team like that.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, be quiet. He's not a good player, bro.
Although, horrible. I think it would be hilarious if for the Thanksgiving game, which it's Dallas versus New York, Daniel Jones was the starting quarterback for Dallas against his former team.
And if Dallas wins that game, bro.
He dropped like 50 on him.
I could really see... if Daniel Jones is sent to the right team, like, I would hate for this to happen, but I could see it. If Seattle were to pick up Daniel Jones, let him sit for a year and a half, maybe a couple of years, I could see Jones becoming a good, somewhatly bridge quarterback like Geno did. I mean, Geno was just like Jones pretty much for the majority of his career, so I could really see it. You give him time to learn, sit him behind somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. That's not Seattle.
No.
That's certainly not Dallas. But you put him behind somebody like Mahomes, Allen, maybe there's a chance to learn. I mean, take for what you want to say about other quarterbacks, like, I guess Mahomes.
Yeah.
He sat behind Alex Smith for a couple of years, or about a year. There's a reason he's good the way he is.
Speaking of Mahomes and the Chiefs, my God, they finally lost a game.
I cried and thank God. I was standing in my work break room. Actually, it wasn't even the break room. We were standing in the middle of the online order department after finishing an order, and we're watching it, and I'm like, yeah! Josh Allen, you saved everything.
And in classic Mahomes fashion, he lost because he threw an interception.
Oh my gosh.
Which it was about time that he threw
I-
one that actually ended up losing a game.
I don't know if it was mainly because of that interception when you're down by 9.
Okay, you're right. But he's been a leader in interceptions this season, and to finally lose a game by throwing one, I think is hilarious.
Honestly, what probably really killed him wasn't the interceptions, but the constant defensive play to let Josh Allen drag
Josh Allen
all
killed
over
them.
you.
Josh Allen killed them.
Josh Allen killed them. Thing is, though, if the only way to kill the Chiefs, the only way to kill them is to keep them out of the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they're
It's
gonna
over.
probably
It's
go
over.
to the Super Bowl, because currently, based on our predictions and what we said, the Chiefs would have a path against the Chargers. I think a team like the Bills, who they
Chargers,
normally beat.
Bills, and then like Ravens or something in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, and they always get it done against all those teams. That sounds like an easy path. So if it happens again, our last hope would be the Lions if they can make it that far this time.
No, the Lions are walking through the NFC this year. I don't care what
Watch the
anybody
Seahawks
says.
upset them in the divisional round. I would actually feel bad.
Might actually cry.
I would feel
One, for two reasons. One, because we would win a playoff game for the first time in like 5 years. And two, because I really, really want the Lions to just end the Chiefs season.
It would be hilarious though if we're the team that goes to the NFC Championship and then we get throttled by a team like the Eagles. You know what would suck?
I would cry.
You know what would suck? If it's an Eagles and Chiefs rematch.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
If it does, I'm done. I quit. I'm
don't-
never trusting the Lions again if it happens.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, but you never know. Well, Detroit's out here dropping 50 bombs on, granted, really bad teams, but it's still 50 points.
I don't know how to feel about the Lions. I say that because they did this last year. Not maybe to the extent they did now, but they did this last year. They got everybody hyped around them. They went 12-5. They had a similar record around this time frame. It's very similar.
I think they were 7-2, 7-2 at this time last year.
Yeah, and they did this. They did the same damn thing last year, and it's not horrible. I don't trust the Lions. I say that because this franchise is cursed. I don't care what you say.
Same with the Jets.
I mean, they can prove me wrong, but I just, as much as I want to say this is their year, I said that last year.
Yeah, and then they choked a 17-point
Lions
lead.
fans said that back in 2000. Was it? No, it wasn't 8. It was not 8. It was some other season. They went to the NFC title game and they lost it. And they never went back.
And they ended up choking a 17-point lead in last year's NFC title game, which honestly, they don't really have anyone to blame but themselves. As much as I love Dan Campbell as a coach, some of the calls, like had he every single time he was in the red zone, had he gone for a field goal instead of going for it on 4th down, they would have won that game.
Imagine you're 4th down and 5 at your own 40. Nah, let's go for it. Even though there's 7 minutes left in the game. It's unfortunate. I don't know if I want to trust them yet. As much as I want to see the Lions are going to do it because they are the most built team that I've seen.
They're
this
the
season.
most complete team this year.
Yeah, and they're the one clear-cut Super Bowl contender that I see. I don't see another team who's as clear-cut to be a Super Bowl contender as the Lions. The Commanders got problems.
Sounds weird to say.
The Commanders got problems. They're not, I don't think, as efficient as they were. I'll give them another year.
I would say give them 2 years. And then
The Texans, they have problems. I don't care what their record. They have problems. They have had problems for the past 3 weeks. I don't trust the Texans at all.
Until this past Monday's Monday Night Football game, they had not scored a touchdown in the second half offensively in like 4 or 5
And that
weeks.
further solidifies that Lions-Texan game. That further solidified it. I do not trust that defense. I don't trust C.J. Stroud now. He has had a big sophomore slump.
Yeah, I think that's one way to say it.
It has been disappointing because I thought the Texans were going to be so much more, but you can only do so much, I guess. And if I want to say the Texans, it can be a team that could really defeat somebody big like the Bills, but I take any other AFC contender right now.
You saw the Texans Bills game earlier this year,
Hell,
right?
I would take the Broncos over the Texans right now.
I think I would too.
I would take the Broncos over them, the Bills over them, the Chiefs over them. I would take the Ravens over them, the Steelers. would take the Bengals if they make it that far.
They're not.
They won't. Not that defense. I would take. Okay, maybe I wouldn't take the Bengals over them now that I think about that. But I can't see any other team taking them down.
Speaking of the Bengals, what is going on with that team?
Joe Burrow, I will save you myself.
My God, Joe Burrow's putting up like MVP level numbers, and he's 4-7.
Dude, he needs to get the fuck out of there. Take Jamar with you. Get out of there. Are you? Oh my God. You want to know? Well, I'm gonna pull up his stats real quick, and I want you to just. This is an MVP level season. MVP, and they're wasting his career.
It's that defense. It's the defense.
Joe Burrow, so far this season, in just how many weeks has it been? 12?
It's been 11 weeks.
He has 3,028 yards, 27 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, and 106 passer rating.
And he's 4-7.
I
just saw your eye
Joe,
twitch.
come to Seattle. We won't. We spend money. We send some money. You could come here. You know what I heard that someone said Joe should do? Joe should request a trade from Cincinnati. Not in like actually leaving.
But just like force a request.
No, like say, if you don't start spending money, I'm not going to go up to camp. I'm not going to play games. And you're going to start losing.
Like what Brandon Ayuk did earlier this year.
Joe is the only damn reason this team has 4 wins. If it wasn't for him, they'd be 0-11.
I saw a statistic granting if you flipped the results of all the one-score games, the Bengals would be like 9-3.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Or 9.
Somebody
9-2.
save Joe. Jamar, even he's getting pissed.
The defense just folds in the most important parts of the game. The Sunday night game against the Chargers. You come back from down 20 to tie it 27-27, and then in the last minute of the game, your defense just allows
Here's some more stats. I want you to guess what receiver this is on the Bengals. 1,056 yards for 73 receiving touches, 14.5 yards per carry, 70 long average for catches, and 12 touchdowns on the season.
That's got to be Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Bro, they're going to let T. Higgins walk.
No, they're not
going to pay his ass. I know they won't.
If they don't fix their stuff this year.
Nah, Joe, pull a Carson Palmer and get the hell out of there. That organization is so cheap, it's incredible. If I was a Bengals fan, you remember that rant I had last time we were on air about the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You'd be doing that right now.
It would be much worse. It would be horrendous. Oh, man. Oh. I think we'd have to take me out of the studio for a good 10 minutes.
I'd be probably sitting there on air for 10 minutes silently while you collected your thoughts.
Just like scream. Like, and it's not like Joe loves this team. I know he does. You can see it. Joe loves Cincinnati. It's a shame. And you can see it in every single interview as he progressively gets more and more honest and more open about what's going on in the organization. And I don't understand as an owner how you don't see your only person that's keeping you in games, keeping you winning it, you don't make an adjustment.
Yeah,
Zach Taylor, he's got to go. And it's not like there's some success to be credited. You know, that 2021 season was magical for the Bengals. It's just unfortunate that you have that level of success for 3 straight years and you just let it go.
All falls down.
That defense is so bad. I'd say it rivals the 2019 Seahawks defense. It's that bad. Or no, 2021 Seahawks defense. It rivals that.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad. Like,
I will say, even during the 2021 season, I still find it hilarious how we swept the Niners. Even though we were so bad that year.
Yeah. I really wish the Bengals could just live up to potential for once. Man, that 2021 season might have been their last shot to win a Super Bowl for a long time.
People are saying the same thing about the Niners last season. That was their last opportunity to win it for a long time.
You know what? Speaking of the Niners.
Let's go into
this. Geno! My glorious king! You killed him! Do it again.
Man, after 6 straight losses.
Remember that post I made at the beginning of the season on the nest where it had like the collage of pain and suffering of the Niners. It's over. We finally get a victory. Geno put night as he was ready to. Man.
He channeled everything into that run.
Now Geno, he said before the game to the reporter, you know what he said?
What?
This is personal.
As it should have been, because wow,
And there's still people doubting him. There's still Seahawks fans that want Geno gone. I admit, I said some not so nice things that are well documented on our channel and documented on everything. I admit it. I was not a huge supporter, and I'm probably going to be the exact same way if we lose to the Cardinals. I'm going to be saying, Geno, your ass! And I'm going to be the exact same way. But if Geno can keep playing, just playing like he did in those final 2 minutes of that game.
Okay.
Granted, there was no Nick Bosa. Granted that we would have probably lost if Nick Bosa was there.
In all fairness, when they beat us at home, half of our defense was out too, so they can suck it.
Yeah, all the Niners fans are just posting like, our defense was out.
Yeah, well, how do you think we felt after the first time we lost to you this year, okay?
And they're posting sad edits, realizing our last chance to win the Super Bowl was last year.
I saw Blitz the mascot on one of those posts commented that it's okay, you can watch all your Super Bowls on VHS.
Yeah, from the 90s.
Oh, I love Blitz.
I love Blitz.
Blitz and Bowie are some of the most savage mascots when it comes to commenting on.
I remember seeing a video, speaking of Bluey, of where the Colts mascot was shaking his hips and Bluey's like, what? He's just in the wrong place, wrong time.
Look at the wind.
Oh, wow, that cyclone out there's really going at it.
All right, anyways.
Yeah, we just said, anyway, back to what we're talking about the Seahawks. Our next game, you got the Cardinals in Arizona, right? Or is it in Seattle?
It's in Seattle.
Okay, it's in Seattle. Kyler Murray is on his COD streak. Realistically, whoever wins this, I believe, wins the division.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's a bold claim, but whoever
I don't care about the Rams.
Wins this game wins the division.
Yeah, because if you're the Cardinals, you already got a lead game on the Seahawks. You win that division, then you got a 2.5 game on them, because that half being the division lead.
Yeah.
If you're the Rams, you just hope they both die. Because if the Cardinals, wait a minute, who are the Rams? Ooh, the Rams face the Eagles. If the Eagles can somehow do us a favor and take down the Rams,
I would be much appreciated.
That would put us in first and the Cardinals in second. If the Rams somehow pull a win out of their ass and we beat the Cardinals, the Rams are going to lead the division.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, no.
Oh, no, because the Cardinals beat the Rams.
Even with the Cardinals' loss, they will still be in first place because they'll be 2-1 for division and we'll be 2-2. And 2-1 is statistically a better record than 2.
We face the Cardinals in like 2 weeks after next week.
We do. We face.
So we can sweep them, then we'll be likely to win the division.
It's Cardinals, Jets, Cardinals. If we win both games against the Cardinals, we win the division. If they win at least one of the games against us, they're gonna win.
Listen, this is our one shot to win the division that we've had in like 4 years, bro. I want a division hat, okay? Please give me that hat. Like, plus, if that happens, and it looks like we're gonna win the division by the time December 15th rolls around, bro, we gotta save up for a playoff game.
Yeah, no.
But money, money, money! Brother. To be fair, I am making enough, and I got like a lot of stuff sold recently. We could probably do it. I got $300 from selling stuff, bro.
Sunday night against the Packers or a playoff game?
We could do both, probably. I could probably afford both, as long as you do your pitch.
Don't go into debt, but like.
We will discuss this after the show.
Okay.
Unless it's like us facing someone like the Packers again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna lose.
Okay. So we can go ahead and move on from football for now. I want to briefly touch on baseball again. This will probably be the last time we touch on it for a while, but throughout the week they have released the postseason player and manager awards for who was like the best in that category. I want to say I do not agree with maybe like half of these. American League MVP Aaron Judge. Really? Sure, he was great during the regular season, but then it came to playoff time and he could not hit the ball. He was dropping his drop single-handedly lost the Yankees the World Series, and they unanimously voted for him to be the American League MVP. And then same thing with Shohei Ohtani. Great in the regular season, played terribly in the postseason, and still gets a unanimous MVP for, I think, the second year in a row now?
Let's see. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. American League Cy Young. I kind of agree with the winner. I don't see how it was unanimous, but Tarek Skubal, the Detroit Tigers, he is your American League Cy Young. Your National League Cy Young is Chris Sale from Atlanta. And moving forward from Chris Sale on, none of these were unanimous, but they did get enough votes to get the award. American League Manager of the Year, Stephen Vogt, Cleveland Guardians. Sure, I can see it. He took a team that had a couple of rough seasons and managed to take him all the way to the American League Championship Series. I gotta give him props for that. This one I don't agree with whatsoever. National League Rookie of the Year, Pat Murphy. Guess which team he plays for?
What's he play?
Guess which team? Just throw out a team.
Dodgers.
No.
Oh, breaking news from the NFL about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy will be out for the next game.
Why?
Against the Packers.
Why?
Due to a leg injury or something. He'll be placed. Ooh.
Oh.
I'm seeing injured reserve.
Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa out. I'm seeing that now. Wow.
And it's going to be Brandon Allen as the quarterback.
Oh, no.
Good.
Oh, no.
I've been waiting for this moment. The downfall of the 49ers.
Anyways, back to baseball. Sorry, that was breaking news.
Sorry, they're breaking news. I'm all over this right now.
We had to touch on anyways. So, Pat Murphy, National League Manager of the Year, Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee Brewers. They did not get any better.
They didn't even do anything.
They didn't get any better than they were last year. Sure, they won one playoff game. It was in the wild card round where you need to win at least 2 to advance. So,
they're not any good.
I don't agree with that decision whatsoever. American League Rookie of the Year, I also don't agree with this. Luis Gil, pitcher, New York Yankees. Sure, he was okay. He might have been more than okay. I'm not a Yankees fan. I didn't follow up with his stats, but I also don't like the Yankees. National League Rookie of the Year, I feel like this one's well-deserved. Paul Skeens, Pittsburgh Pirates. He had a stellar rookie season. All I'm hoping for now is that he doesn't go through a massive sophomore slump.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so those are all the awards that we have for the MLB season, and now we can go ahead and move on. Who do I got next?
Who do you got next?
Oh, I got hockey next.
This is all you, buddy.
Okay, I'll take this one away. So after we're a month into the NHL season now, and we've got some we'll go over the current division leaders, the bottom 5 teams, and how the Kraken are doing. Current division leaders. At the Atlantic Division, currently the Toronto Maple Leafs are leading that one.
That's a shock.
They have 1 more point than the Florida Panthers, which puts them in first over the Panthers. Maple Leafs are 12-6-2, which is good enough for 26 points. Panthers are 12-6-1, so they have 25 points. But yeah, no, Leafs leading the division. Definitely shocking. I don't think it's not going to last at all, but
I heard there was a game that everybody was watching in hockey recently. The Predators and the Oilers.
Oh my gosh.
Is it for exactly the reason I'm thinking?
That's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
No, did he?
Anyway, yeah, so
are they in different conferences? Or the same?
No, they're both Western Conference teams, so
I need a conference championship between them.
We'll go into a good reason as to why that's not happening. Metropolitan Division. Currently, the Carolina Hurricanes lead that division, 14-5-0. Their record 14-5-0, 28 points. The Central, no surprise here. Winnipeg Jets are still leading that division pretty comfortably. 16 wins, 3 losses, 0 overtime losses, 30 points. And then again, no one should be shocked by this. Pacific Division. Vegas Golden Knights, 12-6-2 with 26 points. However, the Pacific Division is still very close.
What are the Kraken at right now?
The Kraken are at 21 points, which is tied for 5th with the Canucks. So, and Vegas has only won. They've only won 2 more games than the Kraken have. They have lost. Actually, yeah, we both played 20 games. They've won 2 more. All I'm saying is it's very close. It is still way too early in the season to make any calls. Once it gets to like January, then we can start talking about like who's gonna win the division, stuff like that. Here are our bottom 5 teams, which most people probably expected, except for the very bottom one, which I will go over. If worst team, Utah Hockey Club, they're 7-9-3 with 17 points. Honestly, it's not a terrible record, especially being the newest team in the league. It's not.
Being brand new, I would have expected way worse.
Newest team in the league, 7-9-3, kind of adds up. You don't expect too much from them this year. 4th worst team, surprisingly not the worst this year, San Jose Sharks, 6-11-5, also at 17 points. Next up, Montreal Canadiens. This one shocked me a little bit. 7-10-2 at 16 points. Second worst team is the Chicago Blackhawks. 7-12-1.
I thought this was 2-12 on the paper.
2-2. Oh. It does look like a 2. That's really good. But yeah.
How bad you gotta be to have only 2 wins.
They're 7-12-1, 15 points. And then the worst team in the league, which comes as a shock to probably everybody based off how their offseason was, the Nashville Predators.
Also the Jets of the hockey world.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. 6-11-3, 15 points. I will explain why this is so surprising to a lot of fans of this sport. The second that free agency started in the offseason, they went and signed 3, quite possibly the 3 best available free agents at that time. And everyone's like, okay, Nashville just picked up 3 Stanley Cup winners. It may not have been, they didn't all win it the same year, obviously, but they've all won it. Actually, I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to fact check for me. But they were the 3 best available players on the market, and they signed all of them within an hour of free agency starting. Nashville was considered to be the team that won the offseason and boosted them from it boosted their predicted season from a fringe playoff team all the way to a Stanley Cup contender. They are not playing like a Stanley Cup contender team. And I think the reason for this, they have absolutely no chemistry as a team whatsoever. You pull in 3 guys from different teams, they get barely any time during the offseason to adjust, get to know each other, no team building. They don't have any chemistry. They can't communicate as a team. They are, in terms of the goals that they score per game, they are dead last. 2.3 goals per game is good enough for 32nd in the league. There are 32 teams. Penalty killing, though, is, I don't have this written down, but actually I can probably pull it up on
penalty killing.
Penalty. It's if there's a team on a power play and you don't let them score, that's penalty kill. So let me try and find it. Wednesday. Predators. Okay. Yeah, so goals per game, 2.3, 32nd. Face-off percentage, 53.3%, which is actually 4th in the league. Power play percent, which is the amount of times that you score, how often you score on a power play, they're 10th at 22.2. Penalty killing, 91.3% of power plays that the other team has, they do not let them score, and that is 1st in the league. Penalty minutes, they average 10.1 per game, which is 8th in the league. Hits, which is, for those that don't know, it's literally just any time a guy runs into another guy, that's a hit. They average 27.9 a game, 3rd in the league. 14.8 blocks per game, which is 23rd. Penalties per game, 4.3, 6th in the league. Penalties drawn, I don't know what the difference is there, but they're 10th in the league. And then goals allowed per game is 3.2 at 18th. So they should be, based off these stats, a relatively middle of the pack team, and they're not. But if you look at all their games, from what I'm seeing here, most recently against Seattle on Wednesday, they lost by 3. Right after beating Vancouver by 2, they lost to Colorado and Edmonton by 1. They lost to Calgary by 2. They beat Utah by 4. Lost to Florida by 4. Lost to Washington by 1. Lost to the Los Angeles by 3. Beat Colorado by 3. And then lost to Edmonton by 4. That's as far back as it's letting me see. But they're playing close games. Their lack of chemistry is just what's holding them back. They can't get it done as a team. And if there's any Predators fans listening, I highly doubt it because they're from Nashville, and who likes teams from Nashville? Anyway. So enough about the worst team in the league. Let's talk about the local team and how, my gosh, they had a great homestand that they just went through. 5-1 homestand was much needed after a road trip where we went 1-4.
Oh, Seattle. Most Seattle thing ever.
Most Seattle thing ever.
We're the most definition of mid.
Up to 10-9-1 on the season, which is enough for 21 points. I'm gonna go find our recent games, but man, does it feel good to win that many games. Okay, so as far back as it's letting me see, you've got the 3-0 win over Nashville on Wednesday, right after you lost 2-0 on Sunday against the Rangers, which the Rangers have quite literally the best goaltender in the league, so that's forgivable. You only let in 2 goals, whatever. Rangers are a good team. You beat the Islanders, Blackhawks, Blue Jackets, and Golden Knights all in a row. Right after you lost to the Avalanche, Bruins, Senators, and Leafs all in a row. So it's safe to say we're a run-of-the-mill pretty mid team right now, but, well, it's still early in the season. We're picking up.
Man, we're always mid, bro.
Yes.
Why can't one of us just be, like, good?
I feel like
the only way, it's like a balance here in Seattle. For one of our teams to be really good, the other two have to be really bad. Like, you can't have both at the same season. For example, in 2013, when the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl and won it, and we were really good, the Mariners were horrible. There has to be a balance.
Also, look at the Huskies and Seahawks last year. The Huskies last year, 14-0 before losing in the national championship. Seahawks 9-8 didn't make the playoffs.
Yep, one of us, it has to be a balance. One of them has to be bad for one of them to be good. For the Mariners, the year we made the playoffs, Seahawks.
The Seahawks did make the playoffs,
but we didn't do anything.
But they didn't do anything. They got boat raced in the first round.
Yeah, after we put up a fight in the first half and broke my heart, I nearly burned my Geno Smith jersey after that game. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, you take it was only a 1-point lead. Like,
doesn't matter. It's still a lead.
So I want to. These are some really bad. If you're not looking at the paper, please don't, because I wanna play a little game with you.
Okay, I won't look at the paper.
In terms of the Seattle Kraken's goaltending, one of them has a record of 1-6-0 with an 88.1 save percentage, which for a goalie, by the way, really bad.
Oh. What's the average?
Generally, goalies shouldn't be letting in more than 90% of shot, or any less than 90% is considered pretty bad. And then the other one, 9-3-1 with a 92.3 save percentage, which is not like elite, but it's still considerably better.
Put the second one in.
Guess which one is the starter?
I don't know names, bro. But the good one.
Off of records, what do you think the starter is?
Knowing the Seattle Kraken, the first one.
You would be correct about that.
Oh my God.
Philip Grubauer 1-6-0 is considered the starting goalie.
Why?
While Joey Decord, who has played more games and has a much better record, is listed as the backup.
You know what this Elmo sticker
Why?
say? The letter of the day is M for my mental health is crumbling. that sticker's correct.
Why are we listing the better? Why are we giving the backup goalie more playtime and still considering him the backup?
You know what? The most
It just doesn't make any
thing to
sense.
do? Let's send the goalie to Golden Knights because screw everything. It's the most cracking thing to do.
I might actually stop watching hockey altogether if we do that. No, but Joey Decord's with us for 5 more years. I don't know about Grubauer. But yeah, it's most. They need to make Joey the starting goalie
They
immediately.
won't.
Wait, what if that's what the skills competition was for? Was to determine who gets the starting job?
I don't understand this team.
All right, so that's enough on hockey for now. Still early in the season. Oh, actually, there is one game that happened yesterday that my God, want to talk about. Tampa Bay Lightning and Columbus Blue Jackets, 7-6 game that ended in the Blue Jackets' favor in overtime. The Tampa Bay Lightning led 3-0 at one point and lost 7-6 to a run-of-the-mill mid. Last week, the Columbus Blue Jackets were in the bottom 5, and I think they're still pretty close to being towards the bottom of the league. But oh my God!
Oh my gosh!
I want to go to a game. Oh, that reminds me of the Kraken and Kings game 10 years ago. Guess what this? I want you to take a guess of what the score to that one was. I will give you a hint that it was an overtime game. So
1-1.
No. Think high scoring.
10-10.
It's pretty close. It was a 1-goal game. It ended 9-8 in favor of the Kraken.
What?
That was 2022. That was the year we were good. Okay, so that's enough on hockey. I'm sorry if anybody wanted us to touch on it more, but realistically, not enough interesting stuff has happened over the past 2 weeks. We'll kind of just go over weekly, like where each team is at in the standings and so on. Okay. Second to last sport I want to touch on. We'll just touch on this super quickly. Nothing too interesting has happened. Top 5 teams in the NBA right now. Number 5, Houston Rockets at 11-5. Number 4, Oklahoma City Thunder, 12-4. Number 3, Golden State Warriors at 11-3. Number 2, Boston Celtics at 12-3. And number 1 is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are no longer undefeated.
Did they lose? How?
They lost by 3.
Who was
and
it?
I'm so mad.
Who beat them?
Take a wild guess.
The fucking Warriors, wasn't it?
Wasn't the Warriors.
Oh, that's a shock. Lakers?
No, what's the team that everybody hates right now?
The Lakers. Oh,
okay,
the Celtics.
The Celtics beat
Oh,
them.
of course it was the Celtics. Jason Tatum's over there having a blast.
Yeah, which, by the way, there was some controversy surrounding that game. Is the NBA admitted Jason Tatum traveled on the three-pointer that won them that game. Like, the NBA literally said, yeah, the refs messed up. And all of the big 4 sports teams have the power to change the result of a game if they think it was played super unfairly. None of them do it. I don't understand it. They have the power to do it. I don't understand why they don't.
Because they want money.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get money from that, but they get money.
All right. Bottom 5 teams. Surprisingly, no longer the worst team in the league. Toronto Raptors sitting at 4-12. 4-12 on the season. Number 4, New Orleans Pelicans, 4-12. Number 3, Utah Jazz, 3-12.
Why did I choose the Raptors?
Number 2, Washington Wizards sitting at 2-11. And just as everybody expected to be at the bottom of the league, I'm being sarcastic if you can't tell, the Philadelphia 76ers currently sitting at 2 wins, 12 losses.
I can't get over my Raptors. I had to choose that team of all teams.
Yeah, and I picked the one that used to be Seattle, so we're in the same spot.
Yo, you're just horrible.
I know, I'm just a horrible person. I'm just a horrible person. Alright, so yeah, not much new has happened in the NBA. Basically, Cleveland can no longer go 82-0, but 81-1 is still available.
Brother. I think they would put in backups if they could.
They would. As soon as they clinch if they clinch the 1 seed, they're gonna put in.
Just reach 53-1. Yeah, we'll put in the backups now.
All right. So last sport we're gonna touch on.
Oh.
Probably gonna touch.
This is for the college football. So go ahead and say what you wanted to say first. It involves Oregon.
Yes, we'll talk about that. So on Tuesday, the newest projection of the college football playoff bracket has dropped, and my God, there is some controversy with it. So currently, I'll read the 12 teams that are in the playoffs, and then I will go over the seeding, which I think is ridiculous. Number 1, Oregon. Everybody's expected that right now. They've been dominant. Number 2, Texas, leading the SEC. That's fair. Number 3, Miami. Number 4, Boise State. Number 5, Ohio State. Number 6, Penn State. Number 7, Indiana. Number 8, Notre Dame. Number 9, Alabama. Number 10, Ole Miss. Number 11, Georgia. And number 12, BYU. So based off, the seedings 1 through 12, you would think, maybe the seeding is just the top 12 teams, which is how everybody thinks that the playoffs should be. It should be the top 12 ranked teams in the country. Number 1 is ranked number 1, number 2 is ranked number 2, vice versa. That is not the case here. The only team with a first round bye that is ranked, that their seed matches their ranking, is Oregon. Oregon is the 1 seed. They are the number 1 ranked team in the country.
That makes sense.
Texas is the number 2 seed. They're the number 3 ranked team in the country. Why? Because they're leading the SEC.
I imagine what's happening is they're trying to manipulate it to where the matches get them the most money. Because think about it, if you have Oregon face off against Ohio State in the playoffs,
which could happen
that's
again.
gonna get you so much money.
Yeah.
And also, just so it's out there, I will not give context for this, but it is real, and this is going to happen. Be on the lookout for a Nest Oregon playoff live stream in person.
Okay.
I will give more information as I get it, but I have in contact with someone who is in contact with the one of the ticket managers of the Oregon Ducks.
Ooh. Well, at this point,
who holds season tickets, and it has 11 tickets per each game.
Wow. Well, Oregon has clinched a spot in the Big Ten championship, so they will either finish first or second in the division. No in between.
Potentially, though, so look out for a potential The Nest appearance at Oregon.
Yeah, so number 1, Oregon, they're the 1 seed, makes sense. Number 3, Texas is the 2 seed because they're leading the SEC. And the way that the playoffs works is the top 4 ranked division leaders get a bye week, and then the 5th highest ranked conference leader gets an auto bid as, I believe, is the 12th seed. So number 8, Miami, is the 3 seed. Why? Just that's all I have to say about that. And number 4, or seed 4, Boise State, ranked number 12 in the nation, has a bye week. I don't understand it at all. I know that they're ranked higher than BYU, so technically that gives them the bye week, but why? Boise State has they have not beat a ranked team this year. I don't get it. I don't understand it. They haven't beat a ranked team. They've had a cakewalk schedule. Their 1 loss came to Oregon by 3 points. What? Okay.
I'm gonna never look for college football news on Twitter again.
What did you just see?
I can't say it on air. It's that bad.
Okay, then send it to me later.
I don't think you want to see it. Also, it's that bad.
I want to see it now.
Oh, wow.
All right. Anyways, number 2 ranked Ohio State is the 5 seed.
This is what I see when I look for college football news. I told you it was bad.
Okay, if you want more information on the bracket, you can find it on ESPN's website. That's where I got it from. But here's what I think is cool about how the playoffs work this year, is that up until the quarterfinals, semifinals, and no, that's a lie. The semifinals and the final will be on neutral territory, just like the 4-team college football playoff, just like how that's worked for the past 10 years. However, the first round and the quarterfinals, those will be played at the site of the higher seeded team. So, number 1, Oregon will get a home playoff game at the University of Oregon. As it stands right now, Boise State would also get a home playoff game at Boise State University. Same with Texas and Miami. They would get home playoff games at their school, which for the first time ever, I think that's super cool. Yeah, and then the last 3 games of the season, which is the semifinals and the final, are all on neutral territory, which is how it's worked every year. But
before we end the show, I'd like to have us cover on one more thing, football related.
Okay.
Our predictions for the end of the season.
Oh, for the playoffs.
I'm gonna start with mine while you pull up yours. For the AFC, I'll go 7-1. For the 7th seed, I have the Broncos, 6 seed Chargers, 5 seed Ravens, 4 seed Texans, 3 seed Steelers, 2 seed Chiefs, 1 seed Bills. In the NFC, I have the 7 seed Cardinals, the 6 seed Vikings, the 5 seed Packers, 4 seed Falcons, 3 seed Seahawks, 2 seed Eagles, and 1 seed Lions. So the Lions and the Bills would have a first round bye.
Alright, mine is going to sound incredibly stupid now, especially with the results of the Thursday night game yesterday. Mine's going to sound incredibly stupid, but I'll go 1 to 7 seed for mine. 1 seed. I hate that. 1 seed Pittsburgh Steelers, which could still happen.
Yeah, I don't know after that loss to the Browns.
It was a snow day. Like, come on.
It wasn't when it started.
It was still snowing though.
They're calling it the snow globe game.
That's fair.
Because Winston loves snow.
That's fair. Okay. Number 1 seed Steelers, 2 seed Bills, 3 seed Texans. I don't know how that ended up like that. 4 seed Chiefs. Texans and Chiefs finished with the same record, but I guess the Texans had the tiebreaker with how my bracket is. I don't know. 5 seed Chargers, they would face the Chiefs. 6 seed Broncos, they would face the Texans. And then 7 seed Ravens, they would face the Bills. Alright, for NFC, 1 seed Detroit Lions. I think they've got that wrapped up in the bag this year. 2 seed Washington Commanders. Looking back on this, probably not the best idea. They're still probably going to make the playoffs, just not that high of a seed. Number 3 seed Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. Number 4 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers, simply because the NFC South is just that bad. 5 seed Green Bay Packers, 6 seed Seattle Seahawks, 7 seed Minnesota Vikings. My AFC championship is Steelers Bills, with the Bills winning. My NFC championship is Commanders Lions, with the Lions winning. I still firmly believe that the Lions are going to win the NFC, but they will not do it against the Commanders. And then my Super Bowl champion is the Detroit Lions.
All right, let me go through my playoff predictions. I had mentioned my seeding. So if I can find it again. Okay. So in the wildcard round, I have the Chiefs outlasting the Broncos 31-13. The Steelers beating the Chargers in a close affair 38-35.
Yeah, that's
the Ravens losing in the last minute field goal 30-29, or a missed Justin Tucker field goal.
I feel like that's going to be what happens more.
I have the Eagles losing to the Cardinals in a thriller, an overtime victory 26-20. So another 2 seed goes down to a 7 seed.
Ooh.
I have the Seahawks not being able to keep up with the Vikings. They lose 34-20. I have the Packers. Apparently I messed up that order, but I have the Packers winning 38-12 over the Falcons. In the divisional round, Bills versus Texans, I have the Bills outlasting the Texans 35-24. I have the Chiefs in a nail-biter winning 24-21 over the Steelers.
Okay,
I have the Lions dismantling the Cardinals 45-20. I have the Packers winning a very close one against the Vikings 32-28.
Okay, yeah.
I have the title games in an overtime thriller, back and forth, Bills Chiefs. I have the Bills winning in overtime 38-35.
Finally getting it done.
I'm scared about that prediction, but I'm putting it out there.
Finally getting it done.
And then we have another overtime matchup as the Packers and Lions. I have the Lions winning 41-35 in overtime in a high-scoring shootout. Now, Super Bowl 59, I have the Bills against the Lions. I have the Lions winning at the last minute 35-30. Lions win the Super Bowl is my prediction.
That's good. So you consider the new overtime rules in those score predictions, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
they go back and forth.
So basically, the Lions win by 6 in overtime because they miss an extra point. That sounds.
No, they won because. Well, yeah.
Oh wait,
right.
no. Or it could be Packers failed to score, and then the Lions.
My prediction is whatever happens, the defense is going to hold up pretty well.
Yeah, I think
for the Cardinals, I just think the Eagles are bad. Like the Eagles will get it.
The Eagles are such an inconsistent team. I don't understand how they're on a 6-game win streak right now.
Brother, they would lose to the Cardinals in the first round.
They would. They lost their last game to them last year.
Dude, I could seriously see the Cardinals upsetting them and then nearly upsetting the Lions. No, actually, no, I'm wrong. The Lions, I'm right. The Lions dismantle the Cardinals.
They beat them in a close game earlier this year, but playoffs is different. The Cardinals have not played in the playoffs since 2021. They're not going to be used to it. So I can totally see that happening.
Yeah, and I could also seriously see the Cardinals losing to the Eagles, but I don't know.
Sorry, I was prematurely loading up the outro.
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Sorry
I still have to fulfill something. See, everybody, this wasn't announced on the Nest. I had bet with Coleman here that if the Steelers beat the Ravens, I would buy a Russell Wilson Steeler jersey, and unfortunately, I didn't realize my bills were so expensive. So he's gonna hold that to me, and in the thumbnail next week for the next episode, you can expect to see me in a Steelers jersey, begrudgingly.
Part of the dare that I really wanted to impose, but he said no to that, was wear it to the next Seahawks game that we go to.
I decided I didn't want to get beat. Let's put it that way.
Which is fair, but I think that would have been a funny thing to do.
All right, well, we're going to end it here, everybody. You've been listening to Loot Air Student Radio, which is LASR.
Sorry for the shortened episode today, but I am a human and have places to be. Hopefully, we can keep a more consistent schedule.
Yeah, hopefully we can actually have an episode next week if somebody gets their car fixed.
I should have it back Sunday. Fingers crossed.
All right, anyway, you're listening to Loot Air Student Radio, LASR. You can call in next time to talk to us at 253-535-7755 and visit our website at plu.edu. You can visit our Instagram at Laser Radio, LASR, RADIO. Also, be sure to check out me and Coleman's show radio at _nest_PLU. Now, due to technology concerns, I'm not sure what's going on with the radio, but hopefully that gets fixed for everybody who uses this to study and do their homework. At any rate, I wish all of you a great night, and we'll see you next week.